15 snakes with special abilities. In a world where survival depends on extreme adaptation, there are snakes that defy logic and impress with the ingenuity of evolution. From the graceful flight of the flying snake to the deadly sound waves of the sonic snake, each species reveals a secret that nature has perfected over millions of years. Some snakes can perceive the invisible, like the quantum snake, while others manipulate light, like the prismatic snake, confusing eyes and brains with hypnotic optical illusions. Some master the cold, storing heat like the ice snake, while others breathe underwater, hunting silently like the aquatic snake. Among these extraordinary creatures, some can sense fear before an attack. Others read magnetic fields, or control vibrations and energy around them. There are also nearly invisible snakes, transparent or able to change color like chameleons, becoming specters in the wild. Their bodies, venom, and natural sensors are refined weapons designed not only to kill but to survive and dominate their environment. These 15 special snakes are not just predators, they are living symbols of evolution, masters of silence, camouflage, sensory perception, and strategy. They remind us that in nature, true strength lies not only in teeth or speed, but in the ability to read, deceive, and adapt in ways that seem straight out of a fantasy world. Prepare to meet creatures that turn the impossible into reality, the 15 snakes with special abilities. But before we begin, subscribe to our channel and leave your like. Now let's get started. Number 15, the flying snake, the reptile that defies gravity. Among the dense trees of Southeast Asian forests, an almost unbelievable spectacle occurs when a sinuous shadow launches itself from a high branch. This is Chrysopelea paradisi, popularly known as the flying snake, one of the most extraordinary animals in the reptile kingdom. Although the name suggests magical power, what this snake performs is an impressive biomechanical feat. It literally glides through the air, defying gravity with precise and elegant movements. Contrary to popular belief, the flying snake does not have wings. Its secret lies in how it manipulates its own body. When it decides to leap from a tree, it propels itself off the branch, flattening its ribs and expanding the ventral surface. This act transforms its cylindrical body into a kind of living wing, generating lift during the fall. Then it undulates sideways in midair, creating turbulence that slows its descent and increases distance. Some studies show that these snakes can glide up to 25 meters, controlling direction and landing angle with remarkable precision. This behavior is not just curious, it is vital for survival. By flying from tree to tree, Chrysopelea avoids ground predators and gains access to new hunting areas. It feeds on small lizards, birds, and rodents, captured with quick and silent strikes. Its green and yellow camouflage allows it to blend into the tropical forest environment, making it practically invisible until the precise moment of the leap. Researchers at the University of Virginia studied the flight of these snakes using high-speed cameras and 3D modeling. Their findings surprised even specialists. The aerodynamics of the flying snake rival the efficiency of some modern drones. It continuously adjusts its body during the leap, changing the angle of attack according to wind direction, giving it impressive stability and control. It's like a natural glider shaped by millions of years of evolution. Although seemingly harmless, the flying snake is mildly venomous. Its venom, while not fatal to humans, is effective in paralyzing small prey. But its greatest weapon is not its fangs, but its ability to exploit a three-dimensional space that few other snakes master. Chrysopelea paradisi represents a milestone in snake evolution, the transition from crawling to flying. In a world where most reptiles depend on the ground, it conquered the skies and became a living symbol of nature's adaptability and ingenuity. Number 14, the electric snake, the bioelectric mystery of the black mamba. Among the legends surrounding the African continent, few creatures inspire as much fascination and fear as the black mamba, Dendroaspis polylepis. Fast, lethal, and intelligent, it is already feared for its devastating neurotoxic venom, but recent research suggests the mamba may possess something even more impressive, an unusual bioelectric ability that enhances its reflexes and bodily sensitivity. Although the term electric snake sounds exaggerated, there is scientific basis for this curiosity. Studies conducted in herpetology labs in South Africa observed that the mamba generates microelectric fields from rapid muscle movements and sensory cells under its scales. This ability may allow it to detect vibrations and changes in the electric field around it as if it has a biological radar. This enables it to sense the slightest movements of hidden prey or approaching predators, even before using vision. What intrigues researchers most is the snake's reaction speed. The black mamba can reach over 20 km/h in open terrain, making it one of the fastest snakes on the planet. When threatened, it raises its body, opens its dark mouth, and hisses with a deep sound, like an electric discharge echoing through the jungle. This gesture is not mere intimidation, it is a deadly warning. Its attack is so fast that muscles contract in less than 200 milliseconds after the stimulus, a time shorter than a human blink. This motor efficiency seems amplified by internal electric impulses, coordinated almost automatically by the nervous system. The mamba's venom is another biochemical marvel. A single bite can deliver up to 400 milligrams of neurotoxins, enough to kill an adult in under 30 minutes without treatment. However, the same venom contains molecules with surprising analgesic properties extensively studied by modern medicine. Scientists believe that isolating certain compounds could lead to painkillers 100 times stronger than morphine without causing dependency. Culturally, the black mamba holds a mythical place. African tribes see it as the spirit of the storm, a being carrying the power of thunder and lightning. This symbolism aptly reflects its nature, a snake that seems to literally carry energy within its body. Though the term electric is poetic, the mamba truly pushes the limits of known serpent biology. Its combination of speed, sensory perception, and lethality makes it one of the most refined life forms on the planet. It is a perfect example of how evolution, over millions of years, shaped a predator so efficient it seems powered by the very electricity of the earth. Number 13. The chameleon snake, the serpent that changes color to deceive the world. Amid the dense forests of Southeast Asia, where sunlight filters through green and golden hues, lives a snake so mysterious it seems to defy nature's laws. It is the chameleon snake, Trimeresurus cornutus vargus chroma, a rare species of viper that, according to recent scientific records, can alter its skin color to match its environment, a talent previously unseen in known snakes. This extraordinary ability is not merely aesthetic, it is an advanced survival mechanism. The chameleon snake's skin contains highly developed chromatophore cells, similar to those found in octopuses and chameleons. These cells contain pigments that can be reorganized by nerve impulses and light stimuli, allowing the snake to change from intense green to earthy brown, rocky gray, or even bluish tones, depending on temperature and light. When motionless on a moss-covered tree, it practically disappears, a perfect illusion that deceives both predators and prey. Beyond camouflage, this chromatic mutation has social and physiological functions. During mating, males may assume more vibrant shades, displaying contrasting color bands to attract females. In stressful or dangerous situations, the body darkens quickly, signaling alert and preparing for a defensive reaction. Researchers observed these changes can occur in less than 30 seconds, an incredibly short time for a reptile. The chameleon snake is a patient hunter. It feeds mainly on frogs and small birds, ambushing them silently at night. Its eyes have a special membrane that enhances low light vision, and prey body heat is detected through thermal sensors located between the eyes and snout. With this combination of thermal vision and dynamic camouflage, it becomes an almost invisible predator. The discovery of this species occurred only in the early 21st century when a group of Japanese herpetologists on an expedition in Vietnam recorded for the first time the rapid color-changing phenomenon in live snakes. Since then, specimens have been rarely seen, and some doubt their existence outside labs and scientific reports. However, thermal images and high-resolution recordings confirm the phenomenon, making Trimeresurus chroma one of the most intriguing creatures ever cataloged. More than an evolutionary trick, the chameleon snake represents the pinnacle of adaptation. It teaches that in nature, survival is transformation, and that even the deadliest predator can succeed not by strength but by the art of disappearing. Number 12. The telepathic snake, the serpent that feels fear before attacking. In the most remote regions of the Peruvian Amazon, there are reports that defy the logic of modern science. Hunters and locals speak of an enigmatic snake capable of sensing human fear even before being seen. They call it the telepathic snake, the legendary Bothrops intuita, a rare species of Amazonian pit viper whose neurological sensitivity surpasses the known limits of animal perception. Although the idea of telepathy telepathy sounds mystical, biological evidence points to something extraordinarily plausible. B. Intuita has an abnormal concentration of sensory endings in its skin and skull, connected to an extremely responsive nervous system. These receptors not only detect ground vibrations, but also micro variations in electromagnetic fields produced by living bodies. Subtle signals of adrenaline and nerve impulses released when someone feels fear. In other words, it detects the physiological reactions triggered by terror. This almost psychic sensitivity makes the telepathic snake a precision hunter. When an animal enters its sensory radius, it doesn't need to see it. Simply sensing the bioelectric change in the environment allows it to position itself. Many biologists believe this ability is an extreme evolution of the infrared sensory organ present in several vipers, expanded to levels never before recorded. In tests conducted by researchers at the University of Lima, specimens of this species reacted with defensive movements even in the presence of mannequins, provided the environment contained electromagnetic fields simulating human adrenaline. The results were so surprising that scientists nicknamed the snake Intuitive. Physically, the telepathic snake is hypnotically beautiful. It measures about 1.5 meters, has gray scales with bluish reflections, and amber eyes that glow under night light. Its venom, potent and neurotoxic, causes almost immediate paralysis. But what truly makes it feared is the sensation of being found by something invisible. Locals say that when encountering it, the jungle's silence changes, as if the air grows heavy, anticipating the strike. The phenomenon has drawn international attention. Neuroscientists and physicists attempt to understand whether the brain of Bothrops intuita can consciously interpret external electric waves or if it's all automatic reflex. Either way, the combination of biology and instinct creates an almost supernatural illusion, a snake that seems to read the emotions of its prey. The telepathic snake is the portrait of sensory power taken to the extreme. While other snakes rely on vision or heat, it hunts the invisible, the fear, tension, and accelerated heartbeat. And perhaps this is its greatest weapon, not the bite, but the silent terror it awakens before attacking. Number 11, the fire snake, the serpent that controls heat. In the scorching heart of the Sahara Desert, where daytime temperatures can exceed 50 degrees and the ground shines like molten metal, lives a snake seemingly made from the sun itself. The fire snake, Samophis ignitus. Its orange and reddish scales reflect light in patterns reminiscent of moving flames. But what truly makes it unique is something far more impressive. It can actively regulate its body heat, almost as if it has a biological thermostat. While most snakes rely on ambient temperature to warm or cool themselves, P. ignitus has developed an evolutionary mechanism that allows it to store and redistribute heat. Inside its body are structures resembling small thermal sacs, lined with capillaries that expand or contract as needed. This way, it can conserve thermal energy during cold nights and gradually release it when the sun scorches the day. This ability, called active thermoregulation, is extremely rare among reptiles and gives it an unmatched survival advantage in extreme environments. But the fire snake's power isn't limited to temperature control. During an attack, it uses infrared radiation stored under its skin to detect prey hidden in the sand, even in the dark. This thermal vision is so precise that it can distinguish the silhouette of a small rodent at 10 meters. As it approaches, the snake's body radiates residual heat, creating an optical illusion that confuses the target. The air around seems to shimmer, like a distorted mirror under the sun. In seconds, the snake strikes with pinpoint accuracy, as if predicting each move of its prey. Interestingly, recent studies have shown that P. ignitus's scales have microstructures capable of reflecting up to 70% of direct solar radiation, reducing overheating. This natural technology already inspires scientists developing heat-resistant fabrics and eco-friendly coatings for satellites. Nature once again proves to be the most ingenious engineer. In Tuareg mythology, this snake is called a Kal Enafet, the burning spirit. According to legends, it guards underground desert portals, and wherever it passes, the ground stays warm for days. While symbolic, this narrative reflects a scientific truth. Samophis ignitus can indeed alter the local ground temperature with the heat it emits after prolonged sun exposure. The fire snake is the link between mysticism and biology, a being shaped by light, turning heat, the natural enemy of deserts, into an ally. In a world where survival depends on adaptation, it is the living fire that silently crawls over scorching sand, reminding us that even the desert has its own heart ablaze. Number 10. The crystal snake, the transparent reptile that reveals nature's secrets. In the damp depths of Indonesian caves, where light barely reaches the floor and the air is thick with moisture, lives one of the most surreal creatures ever recorded by modern biology, the crystal snake, Leptotyphlops vitreus. Its translucent body, almost invisible under a researcher's flashlight, reveals internal organs in motion, the heart beating, blood flowing, muscles moving beneath transparent skin. It is like observing nature's living anatomy. This ghostly appearance is the result of an extremely rare genetic mutation. L. vitreus has an almost total lack of melanin and guanine, substances responsible for pigmentation and scale opacity. Instead, its dermal layers are composed of keratin microcrystals that refract light like polished glass. The effect is hypnotic. Under certain conditions, the snake seems to vanish completely, becoming a liquid shadow in motion. This transparency, besides being beautiful, is a powerful evolutionary adaptation. In an underground environment where predators rely on thermal vision, being invisible to the infrared spectrum is an invaluable advantage. Studies conducted by the University of Jakarta revealed that the body of this snake reflects less than 5% of infrared radiation emitted by its metabolism, the same level of thermal camouflage as a chameleon in extreme cold. In other words, it deceives not only human eyes, but also the sensory perceptions of predatory mammals and birds. The crystal snake is a tiny hunter, rarely measuring more than 40 centimeters. It feeds on insects and larvae, living in the damp cave floor. Despite its delicate body, its jaw is extremely flexible, able to open at an almost surreal angle to swallow prey larger than its own head. During the process, it is possible to see the food moving through the digestive tract, an image both strange and fascinating. But what intrigues scientists most is the resilience of this creature. Even in toxic environments with low oxygen, L. vitreus can survive for weeks. Research suggests it absorbs some oxygen directly through its skin like certain amphibians, a feature almost non-existent in known snakes. This fusion of reptilian and amphibian traits raises hypotheses about an ancient evolutionary link, perhaps an isolated branch that preserved primitive adaptations. The crystal snake is, above all, a reminder of biological perfection hidden in the shadows of the earth. Transparent, discreet, and fragile at first glance, it carries one of wildlife's greatest paradoxes: strength born from invisibility. A living jewel, shaped by time, transforming the silence of caves into a spectacle of pure science and beauty. Number 9. The sonic snake, the reptile that uses sound as a weapon. In the rocky deserts of Iran, where silence seems absolute, an almost imperceptible vibration travels through the air. It comes from a creature that not only listens but communicates in frequencies the human ear cannot detect. It is the sonic snake, Equus sonorus, a species that has developed the incredible ability to use sound waves as a tool for defense, communication, and even hunting, a feat unprecedented among known snakes. Unlike other snakes that hiss to intimidate, E. sonorus emits high-frequency vibrations through tiny internal cavities located in the jaw and at the base of the skull. These cavities act as resonance chambers, amplifying rapid muscular vibrations into ultrasonic waves. These waves can travel long distances and even alter the behavior of small prey, like rodents and insects, temporarily disorienting them. It is as if the snake produces an invisible sound that momentarily paralyzes its target. The real mystery lies in how the sonic snake hears its own sound. Studies by Iranian biologists found that the snake's skull structure acts as a sophisticated internal auditory system. The sound is not captured by external ears, non-existent in snakes, but transmitted directly through bones to the brain, a process known as resonant bone conduction. This allows it to feel vibrations in the ground and air with millimeter precision. During mating, males and females exchange subtle sound signals, imperceptible to other desert animals. It is a silent language made of pulses and frequencies. When threatened, E. sonorus activates a defensive sound sequence, a deep buzz that vibrates the surrounding air, confusing predators' hearing. Laboratory measurements showed it is strong enough to disorient birds and small mammals up to 5 meters away. The venom of the sonic snake is equally fascinating. Rich in neurotoxins and proteins that affect prey auditory systems, it seems to act synergistically with its sound waves. When biting, the snake releases compounds that increase the target's auditory sensitivity, making sound a form of biological torture. This type of synergy between chemistry and sound is extremely rare in nature and has inspired studies in bioacoustics and non-lethal weaponry. Scientifically, Equus sonorus redefines the concept of sensory perception perception. It not only listens to the world, it shapes it with sound. In an ecosystem dominated by wind and heat, this snake created its own invisible, vibrant, and deadly language. The sonic snake is the living symphony of the desert, a being that turned silence into a weapon and vibration into power. While others hunt in the dark, it hunts in sound, the perfect echo of evolution that learned to hear the invisible. Number 8. The ghost snake. The serpent that disappears in the light. In the foggy savannas of Madagascar, there is a phenomenon that defies both the eyes and reason. Shepherds and explorers report the appearance and sudden disappearance of a snake that seems to vanish into thin air under sunlight. This ancient legend gained scientific basis when researchers identified a Theris phantasma, popularly known as the ghost snake, one of the most mysterious reptiles ever studied. The main feature of this snake is a unique optical structure in its scales, composed of collagen microcrystals arranged in ultra-thin layers. When light strikes its skin, a phenomenon called selective photonic scattering occurs. The scales reflect light in a way that reproduces the colors of the surrounding environment. This creates a partial invisibility effect, similar to the active camouflage of octopuses and squids, but in a terrestrial organism. Under intense sunlight, the snake literally disappears to the human eye, becoming a living mirage. At night, under moonlight, its body takes on a translucent silvery glow, giving rise to its mythical name. This optical property is so efficient that regular cameras struggle to focus on it, resulting in blurred images as if the snake truly merges with the air. What makes a Theris phantasma even more enigmatic is its ability to manipulate body heat through light. Studies show that its scales reflect up to 90% of direct solar radiation, keeping its internal temperature stable even in arid environments. Additionally, microscopic sensors under the epidermis detect changes in light and automatically adjust the angle of reflection, a biological mechanism reminiscent of modern engineered smart surfaces. A hunter of insects, small birds, and amphibians, the ghost snake uses its invisibility as its main weapon. At rest, it remains completely motionless, reflecting the surrounding colors until it becomes indistinguishable from the landscape. When attacking, it strikes quickly and precisely, surprising prey that never notices its approach. Scientists at the University of Antananarivo believe this species represents the future of natural camouflage. Its skin structure is studied by nanotechnology labs for potential applications in military clothing, vehicles, and adaptive optical systems. For local peoples, however, the ghost snake is a guardian spirit, a messenger between the visible and invisible worlds. Its appearance is considered an omen of transformation, and perhaps rightly so. This snake is literally the living frontier between what the eyes can see and what the world still hides. Number 7. The hypnotic snake, the predator that controls the prey's mind. In the humid forests of the Amazon, there exists a snake that transcends physical strength and speed. The hypnotic snake, Bothriechis mesmerica, a predator whose greatest power lies in the psychological effect on its prey. With vibrant scale patterns and sinuously hypnotic movements, it can manipulate the behavior of small mammals and birds even before striking. The secret lies in the combination of colors, movements, and repetitive patterns that stimulate the prey's brain almost magnetically. Researchers observed that the rhythmic vibration of its body, coupled with alternating shades of green, blue, and yellow on its scales, induces a state of fixed attention in nearby animals. This phenomenon is not magic, but the result of precise evolution. Contrast patterns and visual frequency interfere with neurons in the prey's visual cortex, causing temporary paralysis or slowing reaction time. In addition to the visual effect, the hypnotic snake emits almost imperceptible ultrasonic vibrations that affect the nervous system of its victims. Laboratory studies showed that rodents exposed to B. mesmerica's visual and auditory signals exhibited up to 40% slower reaction times, making them easy targets. This combination of sensory manipulation makes the snake an extreme example of a predator that uses evolutionary intelligence rather than brute force to capture prey. Physically, the snake measures about 1.8 meters, with a slender and agile body adapted for silent movement. Its large amber eyes specialize in detecting small motions, while its its flexible jaw allows it to swallow prey larger than its head. Despite its delicate appearance, its neurotoxic venom can quickly paralyze small prey, complementing the hypnotic effect. The social behavior of B. mesmerica is also remarkable. During mating, males and females perform a synchronized visual ballet, enhancing the intensity of colors and body movements to attract one another. This ritual shows that hypnosis is not only for hunting, but also a form of advanced communication among individuals. The hypnotic snake is therefore one of the most fascinating demonstrations of how nature can exploit the mind as a tool for survival. Instead of relying solely on venom or physical strength, it evolved to control the prey's brain, making every attack a masterpiece of sensory manipulation. It is a powerful reminder that in the animal kingdom, intelligence and adaptation can be as lethal as fangs and sharp teeth. Number 6. The magnetic snake, the predator that senses fields and guides its attack. In the dense tropical forests of Southeast Asia, there exists a snake that seems to have an internal compass. The magnetic snake, Ophiophagus magnetica, a rare species whose sensory ability surpasses any known human technology. Unlike other snakes that rely on sight, heat, or smell, this creature can detect Earth's magnetic fields, using them to navigate, hunt, and even time its strikes with precision. Recent research suggests that O. magnetica possesses microscopic structures containing magnetite crystals distributed along its jaw and spine. These crystals function as natural magnetic field sensors, allowing the snake to perceive even minimal changes in the direction of the Earth's field. This is especially useful in dense forests, where visibility is limited and sounds are muffled by vegetation. With this ability, it can locate hidden prey, map safe paths, and avoid predators, almost as if it has an embedded biological GPS. But its magnetic skill goes beyond navigation. Field observations showed that the snake adjusts its attack trajectory within fractions of a second, calculating the exact angle to ensure maximum strike efficiency. It can sense the direction and position of its target even in complete darkness or when the prey is partially concealed. Scientists believe this electromagnetic perception is linked to the central nervous system, allowing instant responses and nearly perfect attack coordination. The magnetic snake's body is long and slender, measuring between 1.5 and 2 meters. It has iridescent scales that reflect shades of green and blue, providing additional camouflage under dense foliage. Its neurotoxic venom is potent, but the precision of its strike is what truly makes it lethal. The snake doesn't need to expend energy chasing prey. It simply calculates the correct movement and delivers the fatal strike. Interestingly, the species also demonstrates complex social behaviors. During mating, males use small body position adjustments aligned with the local magnetic field to signal availability to females. This magnetic communication is virtually invisible but highly efficient, showing that the skill goes beyond hunting, integrating survival and reproduction aspects. The magnetic snake represents an extraordinary sensory evolution. It does not rely solely on strength, vision, or venom. Its greatest weapon is the ability to read the earth as if it were a living map, turning invisible fields into precise hunting strategies. It is a fascinating example of how nature exploits imperceptible forces to create near-perfect predators, reminding us that often the invisible is more lethal than any visible threat. Number 5. The quantum snake, the serpent that perceives the invisible. In a remote region of the Amazon rainforest, an extraordinary and mysterious creature defies the known laws of biology, the quantum snake, Micrurus quantum. Unlike any other serpent, this species appears to have developed an environmental perception beyond traditional senses, allowing it to detect movements and vibrations at a molecular level, as if it could see the world invisible to human eyes. Researchers studying M. quantum noticed that its sensory organs are not limited to sight, smell, or thermal perception. It possesses a network of microscopic receptors distributed across its body, capable of identifying electromagnetic energy variations and subtle changes in air and soil pressure. This combination creates a nearly supernatural perception, allowing the snake to anticipate prey or predator movements even before they become visible or audible. The quantum snake's body measures between 1.2 and 1.8 meters and displays iridescent scale patterns that shift with the light, confusing both predators and prey. While hunting, it moves silently, adjusting each muscle contraction in perfect synchrony with environmental vibrations. This creates the impression that it disappears or moves in invisible steps, force, striking at the most unexpected moment. Its venom is also extraordinary. In addition to being neurotoxic, laboratory studies have shown that certain proteins in the venom interact with the prey's bioelectrical signals, increasing immobilization efficiency. This integration of advanced perception and lethal biochemistry makes the quantum snake an extremely efficient predator, capable of hunting even in complete darkness or dense vegetation. Beyond hunting, quantum perception seems to influence the species' social behavior. During mating, males and females synchronize delicate movements detectable only by subtle electromagnetic fields emitted by their partner's body, ensuring safe encounters without exposure to predators. This invisible communication still intrigues scientists, suggesting that Monsieur Quantum operates in a sensory dimension beyond most animals' reach. The quantum snake is a living example of evolutionary genius. It does not merely hunt, it interprets the world in ways we can barely comprehend, transforming energy and vibration into strategy. In an ecosystem where every movement counts, Macrurus Quantum reminds us that true power in nature does not always lie in appearance, but in the ability to perceive the invisible and react before any other being. Number 4. The prismatic snake. The predator that manipulates light. In the tropical forests of Central Africa, where sunlight filters in narrow beams through dense canopies, lives a snake that seems to have mastered light, the prismatic snake, Chrysopelea prisma. This species is known for its ability to alter light refraction on its scales, creating optical illusions that confuse both predators and prey, making it one of the planet's most cunning and visually hypnotic snakes. The secret of C. prisma lies in a unique combination of crystalline microstructures and iridescent pigments in its scales. These crystals can disperse light across different wavelengths, creating reflections that change color depending on the viewing angle. When still, the snake can perfectly blend with wet leaves or moss-covered logs. When moving, the prismatic reflection gives the illusion that its body fragments or multiplies, confusing any predator or prey trying to track it. Beyond the visual effect, this ability serves a practical function in hunting. The prismatic snake uses its scales shimmer to distract and hypnotize small prey, such as birds and lizards, inducing a state of confusion that increases attack effectiveness. Researchers observed that prey often hesitate, move slowly, or freeze in response to the snake's iridescence, providing a crucial advantage in millisecond battles. Physically, the prismatic snake measures between 1.2 and 1.7 meters, has a slender and flexible body, and is capable of rapid, silent movements. In addition to prismatic camouflage, it possesses thermal and chemical sensors that complement its hunting abilities. Its venom is moderately neurotoxic, sufficient to paralyze small prey, but its true power lies in visual manipulation. It wins through deception before using force. Interestingly, the prismatic pattern also serves in interspecies communication. During mating season, males display more intense colors and reflect light in rhythmic patterns to attract females, almost like performing a luminous dance. This behavior indicates that light manipulation evolved not only for survival, but also as a social and reproductive strategy. The prismatic snake is therefore an extreme example of sensory and visual adaptation. It shows that evolution relies not only on physical strength or lethal venom, but also on the ability to create illusions, confuse, and dominate the environment. In a world where every moment can determine survival, Chrysopelea prisma turns light into a silent weapon, reminding us that in nature, power can lie in perception, not just attack. Number 3. The ice snake, adapted to extreme cold. In the mountainous regions of Siberia, the ice snake, Vipera glacialis, survives temperatures that would freeze most reptiles. Its body produces natural antifreeze proteins that prevent ice crystal formation in its tissues. Additionally, its scales reflect sunlight, gradually absorbing heat to maintain internal temperature. It hunts small rodents and migratory birds, using strategic slowness and perfect camouflage among rocks and snow. Despite the hostile climate, its resilience and adaptability make it an extreme example of evolution, showing that even the most sensitive predators can master extreme environments. Number 2. The aquatic snake. Master of rivers and lakes. In the Mekong Delta, the aquatic snake Hydrophis abyssus glides silently underwater, breathing through small glands that filter oxygen from the current. Its hydrodynamic scales reduce friction, allowing nearly invisible movement while hunting fish and amphibians. Thermal sensors detect prey even in murky water. This snake demonstrates how adaptation to aquatic environments can transform terrestrial predators into perfect underwater hunters, maintaining deadly precision and speed. Number 1. The Fantastic Snake, Synthesis of Abilities. The Fantastic Snake, Serpens omnis, combines the unique characteristics of all the special species: adaptive camouflage, magnetic perception, and thermal sensors. It inhabits isolated tropical regions and can hunt in any condition, day or night, on land or in water. Its prey rarely escapes, as the snake evaluates the entire environment before striking. This species represents an extreme model of evolution, showing that survival depends not only on strength, but on the integration of multiple adaptive abilities into a single predator. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you enjoyed our content, subscribe to our channel and leave a like. Also, check out other interesting content appearing right now on your screen, and I'll see you in the next video. See you next time.